Hey, greetings everybody. This is Wesley Pepper, and this is Afrikan Genius podcast. This is episode 3. Yeah, guys, we originally published this episode, or recorded this episode in the beginning of the month, which is April. We did this just before a week before Easter, and we didn't publish it at the time because we still felt because the recording ended rather abruptly, and we couldn't get hold of Siza after that. But we decided to publish it anyway with this intro, of course. So yeah, we talk about the whole Easter thing, the African names and African spirituality and so forth, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It gets a bit deep, but it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. But please remember to like, subscribe, and comment to this channel. You'll find us on YouTube, on the Lexcia podcast channel, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode, man. All right.
Okay.
Okay, we
Sisters
recorded.
and brothers, this is African. Take two. Sisters and brothers, this is African Genius, the podcast promoting Pan-African thought, culture, and art, cultivating a universal African mind. And I am your co-host, Uncle ASAR ALKEBULAN, and I'd like to take a moment just to briefly acknowledge that my dear friend, Shanita Burney, has made transition to the realm of ancestor merely 2 weeks ago. And I would miss her dearly. I can't say more than that because I'll lose it. And I'm going to pass it over to my co-host, Wesley.
Yeah, man. Also, just my deepest condolences again. A loss is a big thing, and as African people, we also believe in mourning the death, and acknowledging it and so forth. But yeah, everybody, greetings, everybody. This is Wesley Pepper. Yeah, I'm pretty good. It's close to, well, we'll get to all the fun stuff in a minute. And we're with our old friend Siza, man. Siza's all the way in Soweto at the moment. My sister,
Yeah.
yeah, man, how's it?
Hey, you guys, I've missed you. Greetings, everyone. I've missed you guys. I've been following your work. I'm loving this genius space that you guys have created. I'm okay. I'm at home. Yeah, there's a lot going on, but I'm good. I'm very happy.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a hell of a lot going on. To the listeners, who are talking about a bunch
like
of things.
ASAR says, like death is also, yeah, but like just our brother was saying, death is also a part of it. Condolences, my brother, for your loss. I wish you strength, but also, Wes, this whole loss issue has also like made me think about loss and the perspective really that is African about death, that we have lost, that death feels so heavy. Because, I just feel like we forgot that we don't even die. Like as Africans, we believe that the spirit lives on, so death shouldn't scare us. And, like, yeah, it's been a tough season. Yeah. So my heart goes out,
even on my
man.
side.
Yeah.
Death is hanging, is a cloud that's hanging over my head too. Yeah, it's pretty.
And we've lost
it's been rough.
Of art. Yeah, and sorry, I wanted to say we also lost like a couple of artists in the country.
Yeah, a few actually.
Just people didn't expect. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's actually been pretty crazy these days. Whenever I see somebody's name trend, it's usually because they passed on, or if I hear somebody, your social media see somebody, then it's usually they passed on. And it's actually, I just say there's a few. I don't even know what to say else about it. It's pretty, yeah. So my brother, we definitely feel you all the way on Africa. Sorry.
No, sorry, I was just saying it's a part of life also. We need to learn how to, part of life,
Life cycle.
Sorry.
Excuse me, I'll just take a quick note. My sister, we were talking off here about we wanted to focus on African healing and spirituality. which I know that's a path that you travel well. And you're quite schooled in it as well. I know you also your PhD, you're writing not necessarily about that, but you, you can maybe share that with us later if you want to. I'm not going to prompt you for that. But we were
Sure.
talking also that we are in the, what do they call it? Holy Week. So there's a lot of healing and as I say, Holy Week, everyone bursts out to laugh. I mean, you can clearly see there's no Christians on this one. There's no Christians here. But sure, my sister, yeah, man. About
Okay,
the
so
healing element.
yeah, well, I don't even want to talk like about the PhD or anything like, but for me, I attended this workshop, you know.
Yeah, we won't, and I won't prompt you either. Sorry about that. I shouldn't have said anything.
Okay, okay, because it's a lot, guys. But I did attend a 2 days workshop that was hosted by the African Institute in Indigenous Knowledge Systems in UKZN, the University of KwaZulu-Natal. And the workshop was around like the methodologies and epistemologies plus research methodologies in indigenous knowledge systems. So like a few things like came to being, like even this question around death, it's really just a reflection of the workshop, because this whole knowledge of who we are, like our knowledge as Black people, is very important. So instead of thinking of death as a deadly stop, you know, we believe that life goes on. So death shouldn't be a scary thing, actually, you know, because nobody really dies. And that's what we believe, even in our connection, maybe through the ancestors, through our dreams, through the poems that we live, through our memories. You know, we know that like life really continues. But like for me, anyway, with the PhD journey, Wes, it's all about sort of finding balance between, you know, balance in life, like balance in the knowledge, and actually championing the knowledge of our people, the knowledge of Black people. Because also one of the things that stood out in the workshop was actually the fact that in the like indigenous knowledge, or the knowledge of the people, because indigenous is also like just very specific to a specific community at a specific setting in a specific time. So but the whole indigenous knowledge is about it's a holistic approach to things. Like you cannot separate how we eat things, Ubuntu, humanity, community together. So yeah, those are some of the things in my thoughts right now, especially in this time that forces us to be sort of alone, you know, like everybody for himself, everybody's going through a lot. Yeah, so that's been on my mind today. I said a lot, but yeah. I think I was mumbling most of it, but yeah.
Siza, I wanted to ask you about your name, coming from the Western world, and I guess it feeds into the whole African epistemology, epistemological, and framework.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you, for, you know, like in the West, we are pretty much ignorant about the rest of the world. And I wanted to say, please describe for me and those who are viewing or listening, what is your name, what language it is, and how it is interpreted into English.
Okay, great question. So my name is Zulu and it's Siza. I just cut it because I don't know, I think I wasn't ready to embrace my full name, because Sizagele, the full name actually means the one who is helped. And I go by Siza, which is a verb, like to help, right? Also, just because mom calls me Sizagele, it's really special to me. but it's the one who is healed. So yeah, that's what it means. And I'm trying to embrace my whole name, like, because it's scary to be the one who receives, and I chose to go with the verb form of the word, the one who helps. And it's been an interesting journey. I'm thinking about it. But yeah, literally, yeah, it's the one who is helped.
Well, that's beautiful. I think, and you as a poet, I think that I mean, do you think your name influenced you? Because that's what I understand is that when African people name a child, it is expressing some characteristics about the child or something that they want the child to evolve into. And I think that your name speaks directly about who you are. What do you think?
No, absolutely. Like even choosing to call my name Siza and my last name Nkosi. So in English it would translate like into a little prayer like, oh, help God, oh, Lord help. So that's, but I feel like it's also just a role that I need to fulfill right now. So yeah, the names really mean a lot. And because also the naming, how we are named is very special. You don't just name a person like the name comes to you, or there is a way in which you name the people in your family. Like for example, my young daughter Nala, we literally gave her the same name, my mom and I, in two different languages meaning the same thing. So I named her Nala, which means abundance, and mom named her Nongebo, which means the same thing in Zulu, and Nala is in another language. But it's something that really it's your gift. Your name is your gift to the world. We pray for names because we don't want to call you disaster, because you'll probably be a disastrous human being. And we do have names like that. Like you really follow your name. It's a gift. It's isabelo sakho, like how we would say. It's your gift. It's what you are fulfilling here. I believe, and that's my understanding. Yeah. But like it really does influence your life. Like I'm saying, I'm also looking at my name in the forms that they are in. And I'm learning to accept help instead of being the one giving help most of the time, because that comes naturally. But I'm sort of embracing both when I need to. So yeah, my names matter. And sometimes I'm just Siza Nkosi. Lord help. Like, Lord help. Help us, oh Lord. So I don't know if it makes sense, but those are my
makes
thoughts.
a lot of sense.
Yeah. Thanks.
Good, Wes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a lot of
Brilliant.
sense.
And
if I could
ASAR, like
go ahead.
also your name is very interesting. Because Uncle ASAR, like is that your name, birth certificate name? And how did you
Where
how is
did
your
the name Uncle? How did the name Uncle become part of the name?
So why y'all
I
gotta
also
put me
like
on
to know.
blast? Everybody got to put me on blast. That's not, I'm the elder and you put me on blast. So it is on my birth certificate. It's on my, well, in America we have Social Security cards. My Social Security card is on my university degree. I won't say any more than that. But the uncle part, this is so wrong. The uncle part comes, it is, let's say this, because we're talking about Pan-Africanism. And throughout the diaspora, we're still Africans. And as Malcolm said, we're more African than, we think we are. Right? So in the Black community in the U.S., when I was growing up, you not dare call your parents or your grandparents friends by their first name.
Yes.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have made it to this age. You could not do that.
Yes.
You either call them Mr. or Mrs. or uncle or aunt. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So as I matured in life, and you can tell by the little gray in my hair, I'm a senior. My friends would have children and Uncle ASAR, because they're we're the same, we're peers. We have the same values. you don't call him by his first name, ASAR. You call him by Uncle ASAR or something like that. So then my Nigerian friends, their children, they began to have children a little younger than me. They began to have children, and Uncle ASAR, you know. And then when I was living in Lagos, I didn't have a job, so I was around the house all the time. For a large period of the time, I didn't have a job, so I was always there, and I became the de facto babysitter, not babysitter, because they're, you know, children, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years old, but I was the one to look after them when the parents were gone. And even the parents and the grandparents, they would all call me Uncle ASAR because I had assumed that role of protector of the children. And I also chose that name as my nom de plume. I wrote some original rhyming African children's stories for my daughter, and I chose it as a nom de plume pen name, and it just stuck. I use it at the university where I work. It's on my business card. Some people call me Uncle ASAR, and some people have a resistance to it because they don't understand the culture, or they just, you know, obstinate in some ways or something. But yeah, so that's Uncle ASAR, man.
But like, it's so, sorry, my brother Wes. I mean, it's so interesting for me because like the role of an uncle in the African family is very important, especially in my culture. Like an uncle, we even say he is the healer. Like there are certain illnesses, like if you have a ringworm, it's usually an uncle who's supposed to do a little healing process, take a coin, put it in the ringworm in the head, and it's only the uncle that can heal it, you know, type of thing. So an uncle is...
I didn't know that.
I know, just remember that as you're talking. But also, like we have a drug issue in our community currently. Like there's a lot of young people that get into drugs, they're always high, and they try to park our cars, right? Or at malls or something. And what they would say would be, hey, malume, hey, uncle, give me 2 rands or something. Sure. Like an uncle for me, it's a very important role. And my whole like journey so far as a writer has been around my uncle's bones, because he went to exile in 1977 and never returned. But I've been in search for his bones through poetry, and you know, and that gave birth to a whole collection that's forthcoming finally, called Grand Malome, Are You Okay, Uncle? You know, basically. So I like that your own Uncle ASAR.
Absolutely.
Malome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is an important role, and I take it seriously. I even I tell the students that I work with, you know, they're from around the world, and I let them know at the beginning. I say, you call me uncle, you get special treatment. so some call me uncle, and some don't.
But
you move to the front of the line.
Yeah, but also like on the flip side, ne? Sorry, Wes. Like I promise, I'm gonna keep quiet now. I'm so excited.
Go for it.
But also on the flip side, uncles are also the ones that hurt children. You know, in a family setup. I'm just saying and putting it out there. That
even not all uncles, in American culture, 2 things about uncles. You also, and I embrace one of them. One of them is, you know, the crazy uncle that you keep locked in the back room, you know, until company comes, and you go, because he's the one. I embrace that because I'm the Pan-Africanist, and I'm talking about Africa, and I'm a little bit
it's the same.
I'm an artist, and right. So it's like I embrace that part, but then there's also the other part. Like you said, there are uncles who hurt children, and even in America, in the LGBTQ community, if there's a relationship between an older male and a younger male, they refer to the younger male as their nephew. You know, so that, I'm not saying it's negative. I'm just saying that's the reality of it. But yeah, so uncle has many manifestations, if you will, and I promise you, I'm on the positive side of all of them.
Yeah, it's definitely a title that you have to earn. If people, if the young ones start, now, if they start calling you uncle, Uncle ASAR, Uncle Wesley or something like, and you have to prompt them to do that. It's a sign of respect for sure.
Right.
So I definitely hear you on that one.
It's like being called a doctor, like
right. And I had to say that to someone. I was like, someone said that they didn't, in the workplace, they didn't want to call me uncle because, of course, it was someone who didn't look like me, and they felt uncomfortable calling me uncle or something. It's like, you don't have, other people don't call me uncle. You call me, but why they don't have? Why are you making a big deal out of it? You don't get it.
But Uncle ASAR, you might think it's a joke, because like at work also, like the title also comes as a sign of respect to your older person. Like, I call Dr. Masuku, for example, Ma, like mom. And I promise you, my peers are uncomfortable. They're like, you guys are getting too African now. Can't you just call us doctors and professors instead of, that prefix that shows respect, like Ma or Malume or sis or brother, But like, it's interesting. It's an observation. But
I do things like that on purpose. No, I will do that on purpose to promote, like we said, this podcast promoting Pan-African thought, arts, and culture. I will do that intentionally to promote and push to the fore our culture. There's no, it's not, I don't say written in stone or law. It doesn't matter. The point is, this is who we are. We are African peoples. Why can't we express ourselves unapologetically African as we are? Why does it have to be, oh, you're being too African? What is it? Because everybody sees European culture as mainstream or normal. Why is that normal? Why can't I wear African clothing every day and in every setting and be normal? So I do that intentionally. Whatever it is African that I am cognizant of, that I know what I'm doing, I'm going to put it out there, man. Put it out there.
Because we need to engage all the five senses, man. We can't talk about Africa and not taste it and not see it and not smell it and not feel it.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. They do. It's funny. You think that here on the continent, they definitely squash it. They don't embrace it. English is the international language, so, and with English comes all its cultures. Even the way you eat. So if knives and fork, spoon, that type of thing. You have what's this thing the British have, tea or coffee at an awkward time of the day, shit like that. That's normal.
It's weird.
It is. It's fucked up. I don't personally I don't like it. So I get both.
And it was the sugar that they wanted. It was the sugar that they wanted in their tea that fueled the enslavement of our people, because they wanted somebody to work the damn sugarcane fields for sugar for their tea, and they're still drinking the damn tea.
And they stole tea from India, because it's China.
Right.
It's something from Asia, I think.
And you guys have started talking about the coffee. You haven't even started talking about coffee beans, because it's crazy.
Or cocoa.
Cocoa.
Yeah, cocoa. That's another one. Yeah, that's why. Like, I'm not too big on chocolate. I do enjoy it, but I don't like binge on that shit. Like, if you know where something comes from, it just makes it a bit more. Even ice cream. But anyway, I'm weird. I'm weird like that. I'm about.
Yeah, but also
I'll talk about my eating habits another time.
Yeah.
Siza, you were saying that?
It's really sad, you guys, that these are some of the things that are really hard to find for us. Like coffee. Coffee is expensive, brother.
Coffee is expensive, bro. It's very expensive.
Right.
Good coffee.
You can't afford it. diamonds are expensive, gold is expensive. Like all the things that we produce, we can't really even enjoy or have just because.
But you know, that's almost like it's almost a given. Like you are so right. All these cool things, none of us can afford it. Not none of us, but you understand what I'm saying. The working class,
most of us.
Yeah. Like
most
how many of us
we
owns a real diamond? And I'm not talking like if you got some wedding ring thing. I'm just like, you know, somewhere else. I don't even know anybody. And that's not an exaggeration. Or gold. And I'm not talking 9. What's this 9 like carat nonsense? I'm talking like proper shit.
No.
I don't know of anybody. Okay, maybe a gold chain or yeah by a family because my family is like that. But yeah, we don't get away anything, and I think that really messes up our identity. In a major way because we keep measure our lives towards these Western things like a German car, for example. South Africans will bend backwards to own and drive, even though they can't afford the fuel for the car.
or a certain brand of phone or laptop.
Yeah.
No, guys, no, guys, we're not having like Macintosh in the conversation. Like, Apple
but I will tell you one thing, Siza. Nah, you using a Mac and you in Dubai right now, nah. Like every other artist that one makes a call to is most probably using an Android, at least 90% of them, and the connection is bad. You know, you can't, especially now it's all raining and all of this, you can't do that. But yet the connection is. So I think that's something that's money well spent in that.
And it's old. It's old.
Aye, but like Apple rocks, man. It's a. I'm not talking on behalf of
not a free
Apple, but like I said,
guys, not advertising these guys. Yeah, we just
hey, my man, these people got money. So if Apple on the Lexcia podcast in 2000 lockdown, like guys were listening, iTunes, it was happening on iTunes. So if iTunes, anybody buy something when they give me money, I will drop my critique of that institution so quickly. All of a sudden, I'll sanitize my words because they got proper money. It's really strange. Like as an adult, you just stop apologizing for making money. You know, like it's just you know. If you know what it's like being broke, you're not gonna apologize for making
if you know.
Yay, we're just saying, guys, we appreciate the brand.
Yeah, appreciate the brand.
Yes. Like it's so serious, Wes. Like especially because we're still dealing with like really petty issues. Water. Don't have water. We buy water. I'm not comfortable with that, bruh, because that means all the vegetables are expensive. Even cabbage is a lot of money, you know, because you can't even plant it yourself. Like, and then it's the land question. Obviously, we always go back to the land, you know, like it's sad.
Yeah, I think that'll actually be cool to talk about the land. And ASAR, it'll be cool to get your take from a few. There's a few crazy things happening in America that I'm following on the news, man. Yo, I want to sneak in one or two of those questions a bit later and just ask you your perspective. Like whenever I read something out there in America, I'm like, oh my, I can't believe it. And then they just take it a notch higher. They keep raising that bar. Like it must be pretty interesting to live where they keep, because by us, our bar, I don't know, like they do raise our bar, but it's not a good. Whenever our politicians get together, the bar usually drops. But anyway, we got like a few minutes here, guys. I'm gonna send you that new link right away. Actually, I set everything up. So and to all the listeners, there's actually I'm actually another shout out to Apple. the connection, the broadband between all our three devices has been perfect, and we're all hundreds of miles away from each other. So whatever hardware we're using is working. Thousands, yeah, and it's pretty cool. So I'm just gonna close on this. I'm gonna send you guys the new link, and we'll chat in 60 seconds.
Cool, man. Shut.